Hello everyone, this is Director Hong from SYMEE Study Abroad Center. To all international students entering Korean universities, we are here to support your dreams and your future. Did you safely assume, since I'm a foreign student, they'll give me easy grades? Well, that is definitely not the case. You must work hard to succeed. Even in actual Korea university lecture halls, you are graded under the exact same strict standards as domestic students. In fact, this course places a much higher weight on presentations and team projects than traditional written exams, even going as far as allowing smartphones and AI searches during tests. So what is the ultimate cheat code for international students to survive this cutthroat classroom? It's Tiro, a real-time 15-language translation and AI summarization app, recommended directly by the professor. It translates and condenses the professor's spoken Korean instantly to keep you perfectly on track. But beware, soullessly reading straight off an AI screen during your presentation will trigger massive point deductions. PowerPoint slides are just supporting tools. The real secret to an A+ lies in a true communication strategy with active eye contact. Want to ace your grades? Watch this SYMEE video. Let's do it right now.
Hello everyone. Congratulations to those of you who have come to Korea. The semester has begun. Yes, since there are many international students here. Korean students might feel somewhat marginalized or excluded. Democracy is not about the majority being more important. It is true that minorities also deserve respect and consideration. However, we cannot ignore the power of the majority. That said, I do not give extra credits or special treatment to international students. Whether Korean or international students, we evaluate based on the same criteria consistently. There are students who have attended last semester, or even the semester before that, considering Korea University, of course. However, there will also be students who are attending for the first time this semester. Korean students already know from senior students how grades are assigned and how strict the grading can be. So perhaps there are not many Korean students here today, but foreign students do not have that information. As a result, they may have applied for my class without knowing much about it. There is a period for course registration adjustments. Please take some time to learn about my background. Also, students who find it difficult to earn credits by taking this course may consider transferring to other courses offered by different professors, either to fulfill graduation requirements or to switch to other classes. How is campus life in Korea for you? For students in Korea, those in elementary, middle, and high school, as well as university students, since they are within the same cultural sphere, there may not be significant differences. However, the experience of middle and high school education is quite different from university life. Students who have completed middle and high school in Korea and are now attending Korea University are truly among the 11 competing schools, the top 1% and top 3%. Schools, though it varies, are composed of very brilliant and highly intelligent students. However, some international students may have applied and gained admission because they did not find it difficult to come to Korea University from abroad. These students may have obtained admission easily. But that does not mean Korea University is easy to get into. Rather, the quality of these students is high. There are many international students who could not attend Korea University. You have been chosen, and therefore Korea University sincerely welcomes you. Of course, I do not represent the entire university, but I have also given lectures here. As a professor, I sincerely welcome all of you. Now let us begin with today's class. There is one app I would like to introduce, but my Korean language skills are not yet perfect. Although students with topic certification levels 4 or 5 could have easily registered for my class, students who do not have topic certification at level 4 or above, such as those at level 3 or below, needed to improve their Korean language proficiency further. Therefore, they may not have been allowed to register or might have hesitated, and as a result, they may not be present here today. However, studying Korean sufficiently for the Korean language proficiency, test at levels 4 or 5, and earning that certification through hard work is somewhat separate from my classes that can help you keep up. Even now, if I speak a little faster, you might miss some parts. And especially when we move into major courses, terminology becomes more important. Of course, it would be more convenient if I lectured in English, but that does not change the fact that Korean has its own unique meanings, particularly since some words are influenced by Chinese characters and Korean itself. There are parts where I must express it this way to preserve the meaning, so occasionally I may use English to explain and make the content easier for you to understand. However, fundamentally, as you have confirmed when registering for the course, this is a Korean language lecture. Therefore, I have an app to introduce to you. It is an app developed by a company called the Play-Doh, and it is called Tiro. Has anyone here used the Tiro app before? Please raise your hand once. Ah, yes. Oh, some students already. I see this student over there last time. Are you not a student attending my class? Ah, yes. Ah, I see. How was it with Tiro? It's very convenient, isn't it? It translates the script of our real-time conversation like this. Everyone, bring your smartphones and listen to my class. Right now, everyone has their smartphones next to them. And since there is an app called Tiro, you can install it later and have it translate what I say in real time into about 12 different languages. If you are from Germany, for example, you can set the speaker language to Korean now, and then display your native language, your mother tongue, on the screen. There is a way to set it up as much as possible. Then, when I speak in Korean, you can view it in your own language: English, German, Japanese, Chinese, based on this standard. I tried using other apps, but they were not very good. They have a card format on the side, but that is also inconvenient. With Tiro, you only need a smartphone. Additionally, I recommend this because it works in real time. You are seeing it immediately, recording and then converting it later. Is not feasible for my current lecture here on the spot. Of course, Tiro also allows recording, which can be shown later. I believe there is also a mode for that. However, what I want is for you to provide real-time translation and to recommend that. Then, while listening to the lecture with me, there is a drawback I noticed. When I give a lecture, I need to see myself. But I am constantly looking at the Tiro app. That's okay. However, occasionally during the class, when I am giving examples or discussing something simple, it would be better if you could also look at my face a bit more. There is nothing. Just look at it like this. You can glance sideways and check it out. Look at it once in a while with a side glance, then listen to the lecture here. Because when I do a presentation, the presentation screen does not appear on the Tiro, so you will need to look here. You should be looking at the presentation screen directly in front. However, Tiro converts the content I explain into a script, which you can then switch into your preferred language. It will be very convenient. And what's even better is that it summarizes the conversation records intermittently. This is called an intermediate summary. Therefore, when summarizing the conversation record, understanding the context and flow of the previous dialogue will be very convenient and useful for listening to my lecture. After the lecture ends, you can summarize that part, or use it later when writing reports. You can analyze it using Tiro and submit it without any issues. Please feel free to use AI as much as you like for my class. However, later, based on the content of the report and the lecture, when it comes to presentations or subsequent exams, excessively relying solely on AI and using the same format for the test or presentation is not the way it is designed. You are allowed to bring your smartphones to the exam and search with AI if needed. However, what is important is how you utilize and apply the knowledge and how you present it. Therefore, the weight of the exam is relatively low. Instead, I place more emphasis on presentations and team projects. It is encouraged for you to analyze and utilize the notes you have recorded during that time. The issue, however, is the presentation itself. As for presentations, AI tools like Tiro or others cannot replace the human element. That is why, when it comes to giving presentations, I offer you two options. One is to present using your smartphone, and the other is to present without a smartphone. The option to present with a smartphone is especially provided for foreign students who may lack Korean language proficiency as a backup. In such cases, a slight difference in the presentation score may be applied. I ask for your understanding regarding this. However, if you prepare thoroughly, participate actively in team projects with your team members, and diligently work on individual presentations, then, in fact, you can practice in advance to improve your Korean language skills and deliver your presentation confidently. If you thoroughly understand the content of your assignment, you will be able to perform well enough. It is not necessary to look at your smartphone or AI while doing so. In fact, it can be quite frustrating for the listener. Naturally, I find it frustrating as well, and since I am the one giving grades based on your presentations, in front of your team members or other students, there will be parts that cause frustration for the students. Therefore, when giving a presentation, it is better if you focus on creating a good PowerPoint presentation and putting effort into it. This is what AI can do for you. Nowadays, what is important is not just making the presentation materials, but how you present them. When you are presenting with a PowerPoint displayed, the most important thing is not to focus solely on the PowerPoint slides as the main element. Instead, use them as a supplementary tool. The key is to engage in conversation. Maintain eye contact and look at your audience, me and the other students who are watching your presentation. How well you communicate and connect with them is what truly matters. That is the main focus. The PowerPoint slides you have prepared should serve as a supporting aid. So, first of all, it is assumed that Korean students already have the information and have taken my class. I believe they will probably register for the course as is. The number of students is not large. However, for international students, please ask Korean students about my class and the information, or check with senior students beforehand. Since there are online communities like GoPass or other internet forums where information is exchanged, if you find it very difficult to get into the school, or if there are evaluations that the professor does not give good grades, you can change your registration to another professor's class during the course change period. I am not at all sorry. There is no need to do that. You do not need to feel sorry at all. Please do not worry and just proceed as you see fit. Now, next, make good use of real-time apps like Tiro. That will be helpful to you. However, during presentations or exams, doing it manually, rather than relying solely on those apps, will significantly improve your scores. In fact, just delivering a proper presentation can lead to a good grade. The proportion of presentations and assignment completion greatly influences your grades, while exams are mainly for verification and supplementary purposes. Well, I will conclude the introduction here. Then, regarding how the classes will proceed throughout this semester, the teaching assistant has likely already provided you with the syllabus. By reviewing the syllabus, I will give you a brief overview of the entire course content for this semester. Today's class will only cover the syllabus introduction, and that will be all for today. Since this is the first class, it will end a bit earlier than usual.